Greetings. I'm Coretta Kelly. In a shocking development, a massive automaton fleet has invaded Cyberstan and the surrounding systems. Early reports indicate that this armada may be over 10 times larger than all previously encountered automaton forces. Currently, there is no information about the source of these new automatons or their connection to the automaton forces encountered previously. The unprovoked assault lasted merely hours, quickly overwhelming the relatively undefended planets on the galactic fringe. The President has already issued a response, saying, "This attack occurred as we were nearing a permanent end to conflict with the automatons. Now, it is clear that there can be no peace until every automaton is utterly destroyed." The Helldivers have begun a counteroffensive operation with the ultimate objective of retaking Cyberstan, the apparent base of automaton operations. That's Liberty's latest. I'm Coretta Kelly.
Okay. Maybe a wipe soon, in about a month and a half. Oh, I did say I would tell you a little bit of a story about a lore, about something that I discovered in the books about Helldivers. As I'm sure it makes sense to you, the books came out first, and there's apparently like 12 books. And prostate exam told me that he read all the books and neither of them were connected, truly connected to the game in terms of the lore. These two destroyers overlapping, or yeah, they are. I was about to say, like, that ship looks different. So have you heard Helldivers Song by Jonathan Young? I don't know. Let me check. We are the Helldivers. Why does that sound like we're the warriors? Multiple songs here. Anyway, before we get into that, the books. Spoiler alert if you're interested in reading the books, Helldivers. Starting now. In the books, Super Earth, well, there's no such thing as Super Earth, they just call it Earth, right? Has been completely ravaged by nuclear holocaust. The whole planet is, well, kind of like what we're staring at right now. It's just a wasteland, with the major difference that our home, besides turned into deserts and wastelands, is radioactive as fuck, and there are storms everywhere. Really, really dangerous storms. Occasionally, Helldivers have to dive to salvage supplies, because from the entire human populace, as far as you know at the time, there are only 2, and they call them airships, that are left in the air. Now, at first I did picture them like these destroyers, but I do believe they are Zeppelins. One is called the Hive, and the other one was called, I honestly forgot. And these airships have been in the air for like 250 years. They were never designed to be so long in the air. They were designed to be maybe 20, 30 to 50 years in the air. But because they're the last bastions of humanity, they stayed in the air for hundreds of years. And the Helldivers are diving to hell or earth to literally salvage the bare minimum that they need to stay afloat, like new power cells or food or repairs or whatever. They cultivate everything and produce everything they can aboard those airships. And they dive only when they absolutely have to, because pretty much every time you dive, there's going to be some sort of casualties. Helldivers' average lifespan is 15. So 15 dives before you die, on average. Now, some people die on their first dive, and one of the main protagonists of the book is at the time making his 96th jump. No one came even close to him, to having that many dives. There were a couple that had a lot of dives, but he's by far the craziest one in that regard. The name of the guy is Xavier Rodriguez, and they just call him X. That's his nickname, from Team Raptor. Now, to not tell you the entire book 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially every book is pretty dark. There are a lot of casualties. Helldivers die all the time. In fact, they even lost one of the 2 airships. So the survivors of humanity were cut in half. And it's not like there were many of them. There's like a couple of hundred, maybe let's say 500 per ship, or like on average. And to not tell you like every single bit of a detail, but what's important is that in this universe, there's no like bugs or automatons. It's just people trying to dive to Earth to survive. Now, they die in thunderstorms, because thunderstorms are insane in this book. Like, they move brutally fast, and very often they get ambushed. Everything is a radioactive wasteland, and they start encountering mutated beings. They don't know what they are. They call them sirens because the noises they produce sound like sirens when you are about to dive from the airship. And they're not sure how these came to be. Are they mutated humans? Are they animals, beasts, monsters? Were they artificially made? But they are very ugly, and very, very dangerous. They can't see. They react to sound. And wherever was the biggest nuclear wasteland, that's where you're going to find these creatures. So they start encountering bugs, right? Let's call them bugs. But that's still not enough to draw the connection between the actual book lore, the actual lore, and the game that we're playing. However, in the third part, in the last third of the 4th book, which I'm currently going through, they encountered automatons. Literally last night or this morning was the first time when they started encountering something weird on a particular place. And as they were describing what they were seeing, I was like, holy shit, that sounds like automatons. Because if you remember when we play the game against automatons, they wear like buffalo and human skulls on their armors, right? and they have like bones and stuff. And there's a particular place in the book where they start explaining how they see like a lot of bones, but these bones are shaped the way that doesn't make sense. And then he started talking about these skeletons and these skulls, and I was like, holy shit, that sounds a little bit like automatons. And then like an hour later, they ran into like noises and metal clanking, and then they saw robots that were wearing these weird things, and all hell went, broke loose. That's kind of where I stopped, so I'm looking forward to getting back to it. But they just encountered first automatons, and hours before, they realized that the nuclear holocaust on Earth happened when the AI fooled everybody. Essentially, if you remember a movie called War Games, or War Game, where NORAD makes an AI called Whopper or something like that, and they give it control. Shall we play a game? Yeah, new game. They give it control over their essentially entire arsenal of weapons and radars and everything. And then some kid starts playing a game somewhere, which is like a war between East and West. And this computer starts presenting everything in the main NORAD headquarters like it's actually happening. And they almost launch missiles on Soviet Union. And that almost causes nuclear Third World War, essentially nuclear holocaust. That is kind of based on what they're talking about that happened. It's the AI that found ways to infiltrate their systems and play both sides until they all nuked each other. And now they started encountering automatons. So I still don't know, is the game leading to the books? Is the game like a prequel to books? Or did books happen and then Earth managed to recuperate, they repopulated, and then they started spreading more and more? But to me, it sounds like the game might lead us to a point what happened to books. Yeah. Because I was kind of I'm not gonna say dissatisfied, but I was a bit disappointed that books and the game are not gonna have any connections other than, well, you have these Helldivers that drop from some sort of ships, and that's it. Helldiver 2, the video game, is not based on books. On my books. What is your books? Supposedly the books and the game are not connected. Well, true. For now. For now. I haven't went through all 12. And also, prostate exam that read all the books said that they were not connected, but then he told me later that he read all the books that came out till that point, which was only 3. Nicholas Sansbury Smith? Oh, he said it? Okay. Well, I'm still very, very curious to see how much of resemblance does the game and the books have. Because to say that the books and the game are not related at all is also false. Same name. They're diving. Now we have automatons. We'll see. I am very curious to see how will the game lead us to books, or how did the books lead to the game, or how much resemblance there is between the two, because I'm enjoying the books and I enjoy the game as well. We'll see.